part of the secret to this place is the team, or one of the team members that was actually physically going around and opening the hotels, negotiating the deals. I called him in to help me to build this hotel. So I called an expert who was really familiar with how to open hotels across in different African locations, what are the logistics that it takes to do it, etc., etc. And I'd seen him doing it. So when I saw this place, I was like, I know exactly who to call. So I called him. It took me 3 months to get him here. And when he finally came, he brought an interior designer. And literally the three of us walked this place when this was a total forest. Because the national park only starts about 200 meters away. So people in town actually thought the national park starts there, because this was all undeveloped. It was just a small little park. Everything else was just forest. So, all we could just see was just trees and trees and trees, and that's it. I've even got the photos from this tree. I've actually got a photo of it, literally when there was nothing except this tree, and it was very dry actually. So the three of us then conceptualized the idea and literally brainstormed. So I think that's where the beauty of Mbano comes in, to say we built this inside out, where we actually started with a hotel room and said, here is a little, a canvas. We want, this was where we want a 5-star boutique. This is where we want our bed. We want this size of a room, because we want sofas here, we want a kitchenette here, we want this here, we want this here. We want the bathroom to be standalone. We want a beautiful, because there's beautiful trees, XYZ. We want beautiful. So I think that's where the magic is. For 6 months, we were literally doing diagrams after diagrams, and by the time we're done, and then I looked for an architect in Harare. I literally had plans, provisional plans, and I even remember going to him and saying, I want you to draw my hotel for me. He says, but you've already got it. I said, no, you're the expert now. Now you know what color flow works with what color. Whether the building should face this way or that way. You are the expert. You know what can be built in Zimbabwe, what is allowed, what is not allowed, etc., etc. So that's really, it was really a dynamic team, I must say, that I put together. And I think but I was involved from day one. So I can tell you where every tile came from. I can tell you where every table came from. How long has the
hotel been existing?
2 years. We literally opened 6 weeks before COVID started. So I always say
6 weeks before COVID started.
Yeah, literally.
As of
February 2020.
I was stuck in Mozambique.
I know. So I actually finished construction in December 2020. January we were still unpacking, because with construction things are running late or whatever. January was just unpack, put things together. 1st February we had our first guests. And so we ran for February, like, oh, these things are looking good. But remember, already the grumblings were coming from all over the world, I know. So I was actually in South Africa end of Feb, just about to go on a trip to market in Berlin. And next thing, this Berlin trip, the Berlin show was cancelled, and we knew, oh, we're in trouble. I flew back home, and 10 days later was my last guest, and the rest is history. We literally closed. We closed. I mean, some people I'd even employed in 1st of March. I retrenched them end of March. I mean, it was crazy, because I already had a team of about 28 people, and but we're closing down. We didn't know how long we're going to close for. So I had to retrench like 22 of them, just keep a core team of gardeners just to make sure the gardens. But at least I would say I was fortunate that the hotel was finished. So unfortunately, I couldn't market, I couldn't make money, but at least I had a product. So all we needed to do was, for the next 4 months, we're just making sure the product was fine, while we just waited for the heavens to make their plans. So we reopened August of 2020, and we've been running ever since. So it's 18 suites. So like I said, the whole point was a small boutique, intimate hotel. And because of the location, we were looking for something, or we were trying to develop something. The way we looked at it during our feasibility study was to say, you do have luxury travelers, high-end descending traveler, global traveler. They go to the best of the best across Africa, whether it's Cape Town, whether it's Serengeti, whether it's Kruger, whether it's Chobe, whether it's wherever they go, it's Masai Mara. And then the model until then had been if they want something exclusive and small, they must go out of town. So you're staying an hour out of town, 30 minutes out of town, then you come to Victoriafalls. So we said, look, there's a gap here of doing a small boutique hotel that is that high-end standard, but right next to the falls. So somebody doesn't have to, after you've seen the falls, you'll see tomorrow, when you've seen the falls, 5 minutes later, you're in Mbano. You're in your exclusive place. You are not in a big hotel. And this was even pre-COVID. So we also were in the right direction, because then COVID says, no, people want to stay in private places, they don't want to mix, and we're already at a place like this. So you will see, I'm sure you've seen as you've gone around, our units are in sets of 2, back to back. So no one will ever come to your veranda. No one will ever come near you. You can actually be totally private. And I always say you don't come to Mbano to be seen, because no one is there to see you. If you are the type of person who wants to say, guess who's in town, don't go to town. Here it's about you, yourself, your space. So really it's appealing to the global traveler who understands quality. And even as you see, I actually thought someone actually described my furniture very well, saying it's just universal furniture. I'm not trying too hard. This is just nice wood, African wood. This is just nice cement floors. This is just nice bricks. So we know in your own home you've probably got better things. When you're coming on holiday, you still want the finest. You still want fine things. But we're not trying to impress you with, here is the best bag you ever get in the world, because you've already got it. So all you want is peace, calm,
That's it.
Away from it all.
I was just telling you, this is my kind of place, man.
Sorry?
My kind of place.
Okay.
So, when I'm in town, people just go, oh, Maya, it's just too noisy.
Yes, then you want to just
I
retreat.
just want to.
Yeah.
So, my guys came and they're like, hey, it seems you're not leaving this place.
I know. Yeah, and honestly, that's the beauty of it, where we've even had people come on business and literally they'll phone their wives. They're like, no, you know what, we must come back. We just want time out. I've had someone, I remember one guy sitting at the pool. He says, last night was the best time I've ever slept in so many years. And we actually get a lot of that, where people have almost like the morning after the first night at Mbano, and you're like, oh my God, it was so peaceful. There's space. And as you can see, it's all about big verandas, big rooms, high ceilings, but very, very simple but very tasteful type of experience. So that's really what we're trying to sell.
But one of the things that I'm so inspired, the fact that it's owned by a black woman. I think I did a story in Kenya about a woman who owned over 200 homes, a Kenyan woman. And after the story, because she has never been interviewed before. So after the story, I was in Ghana, then I met a chief. And the chief said, do you know that after that video, I had to go and clear a whole 200 acres
to give to women?
Just to give to women too.
No, but I think that's the thing to say, honestly. Probably I'm arguably the first black woman in Southern Africa to open a 5-star facility and to build it from scratch. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. And I think I also am hoping that it's an inspiration for black women, and also not just about black women. I think about, because I always say, I want to inspire both black women and black boys as well, because sometimes it's also about the black men enabling the black women, because it's, our cultural backgrounds and everything.
I think we don't really believe in ourselves.
But it's coming through. It's coming through.
But I think we need mentors.
Yes,
most of you don't open up to us. When I started making videos about, COVID time. Yes. I got stuck in Mozambique. I was coming to Zimbabwe.
All right.
And I got stuck. First time coming to Zimbabwe, I was in Livingston. Yeah. And then I was also deported, so I was not allowed to. I was deported from Zambia. Second time, Mozambique, got stuck. I couldn't travel anymore. I went back home, COVID time, and what can I do? And then COVID, that everybody was in their homes. I was traveling within Ghana, searching for something that I can do. So I booked a hotel, which is just like this, for a woman, in a forest. But I have a view of a lake. So I was just there, and then I asked this woman, are you sure you're the one who built this? Even the land, it took me 4 years to be able to afford to pay for it. And
I was telling him the story.
You know what? Is it okay for me to talk to you on camera? I was alone. Can I talk to you on camera? So why not? So all I did was sat down with her, spoke with her, how she managed to build this.
Yes.
I woke up the next morning, the video was everywhere.
Okay.
That's when I found out that it's time for me to start talking to Africans that are doing stuff on the continent. Because those days when I travel, I just travel, have fun, and that's it. But that changed my life.
Okay.
So when I started hearing stories of other people, now if I go to Ghana, the things that I have, I believe that.